Hey guys, what is up? It is me, Pagey, here once again with another video on Arrow Season 8. So we are on a bit of a break with Arrow, and by a bit I just mean a week. We have 1 week break, so no new episode of Arrow this week, which of course does suck a bit, but I'm sure that time will fly by and we'll be back on the road to Crisis with Oliver Queen and all of that. But of course, at the end of last episode, we had the setup for Oliver and crew heading over to Russia to seek out a weapon to potentially use against the, not the Anti-Monitor, just the Monitor. Whether that is right or wrong is for Oliver to eventually find out. But we of course also had Laurel approached by the Monitor with the offer to bring back her home, that of course being Earth 2, but in order for him to do that, Laurel sort of has to, she has to betray Oliver Queen, which will of course also play out in the next episode, and it will be like, I guess, very, very interesting to see the fallout from that, as well as what Laurel does specifically to go against Oliver and, well, betray him. But in this video, we're going to be going over a bunch of Arrow-related stuff and news, this including some returning character stuff for the finale for the season, as well as just the whole show, as well as some little tidbits for next episode, as well as the episode after. But of course, throughout the video, it would be awesome if you could let me know all of your various opinions in the comments section down below, and even some theories you might have. I'm interested to see what you guys have to say, especially on I guess 2 of these things that I mentioned. And of course, if you're going to enjoy the video, it would be awesome if you could drop a like on the video to do that. So just firstly, because this is current, now they are currently, yes, that makes sense, it's current, so they're currently filming the series finale for Arrow. So that's very sad. I'm guessing they'll be done in the next, I'd say, half a week or so. I'm not too sure specifically when they'll be done. I'd say by the end of next week, they might give them a bit more of a filming time for the finale, because I guess they might have some guest cameos from characters from other shows, hopefully. But Stephen Amell, who of course plays Oliver Queen, did film his final scene in the Arrow suit. He did post on Twitter about it. Obviously, a bit of a sad moment, bit of a bittersweet moment. Like, obviously, it's really, really cool, but it's also just really, really sad at the same time. Now, funnily enough, some people did pick up on this. It was a bit of a dark photo, so you sort of had to be like me, I guess, and be full-on detective mode when anything is posted on social media. And he's wearing the Season 1 suit, and he also had the grease paint around his eyes. So this is Season 1 Oliver, I guess, unless they're doing some sort of weird loop thing where it ends and it's the beginning, if that makes sense. So he's not wearing the mask that, of course, Barry Allen gave to him back in Season 2. So it will be very interesting to see how this series finale just plays out in general, because, well, saying that, well, he should be gone after Crisis, whether that be he is dead or it's just been taken away or something. So how this finale just plays out in general, because it's going to be a full, 45-minute episode, how does it play out when Oliver's gone? Because obviously episode 9 is the backdoor pilot, which we will bring up later in this video again, but that's, without Oliver. He'll be referenced, but he's not in the actual episode. But in episode 10, presently, the series finale, he should be gone/dead, so how that plays out for the entire episode is going to be super interesting. It might be some retrospective thing or some mental dream state stuff, but I'm very curious and also very excited. Now, I'm sure some of you guys already heard this news. I just thought I'd mention it quickly just in case someone hasn't or you want my thoughts. Felicity's back. Emily Bett Rickards is reprising her role as Felicity. Not surprising. I think this is the most unsurprising news to ever hit the internet. The stuff we're going over next is actually way more surprising. But yeah, Felicity's back. Apparently, I don't know if this is true. Do not take this as concrete information at all, because I just heard it randomly. From someone who has said some true stuff in the past, but I don't know if it's true at all. Apparently, it's only 2 scenes. One might be a present day Felicity, one might be that older version of Felicity that we saw go into, I guess, the Paradise Dimension at the end of Arrow last season. It could just be a scene with each of those versions, but we'll have to wait and see if that's correct. This could just be someone guessing, but they have been right in the past in regards to some information, so I have to wait and see in regards to that. But the next thing to go over is actually the return of a classic and favourite character of Arrow that we haven't seen. Actually, he was in 1 episode last season, which was the 150th episode from memory. But that, classic and favourite character is that of Quentin Lance. Now, obviously, he did die at the end of Season 6 due to Ricardo Diaz shooting him, and I think he saved Laurel by getting shot. But Paul Blackthorne will reprise the role of Quentin Lance for multiple episodes in this season, which could simply mean 2. It could be in 2 episodes. It can mean every episode until the finale from here on in. Who knows? But I would expect him in the finale. I'd be surprised if he isn't. Basically, the majority of people that have been on the show, I'd expect in the finale. It'd be weird if they're not in there, especially because I don't know how they're going to handle like Oliver as well. So I'd expect them all in the finale for the most part. But Quinton, he could be in episode 7 or 6 and then the finale. And those could be the 2 episodes he's in, or he could be in all of them. Who knows? I mean, you can have a guess around that if you want in the comments in regards to how much he's going to be in this season. Now, there has been no real like detailed information around this that has been given to us. And I think the only reason that they actually released this information was just in case people saw Paul Blackthorne in Vancouver and then put 2 and 2 together with the finale filming and all of that, and that he would be back for it. So I think that's why they released it. It's similar to them announcing that Felicity was back, just in case people saw her there, because I think she actually lives in Hollywood, or like LA, I think. I might be wrong. I'm just pulling stuff out of my ass there. But yeah, I guess like the people behind the show want to be the first people to release it rather than other people. With the Quentin Lance stuff, it is just interesting that he will be back for multiple episodes. They didn't have to say that, but they did. But I guess it's because he's going to be appearing in one of the next couple of episodes. And something we go over in regards to episode 6 does actually hint that he might be in that episode. In regards to how he comes back, seeing that the Earth 1 and Earth 2 versions of Quentin are dead, I actually wouldn't mind it if it is like some sort of like mental stuff, whether it be for Oliver or another character. I mean, like the people that have sacrificed themselves or just died in general along his journey, like to trying to save Star City could appear for him. So like his mother, Quentin obviously, and even like Earth 1 Laurel, to name a few. I think that would actually be a really good scene. Obviously, I think it might be good in the finale if that was to happen, but even earlier on, I wouldn't mind it either if like it was some sort of like motivation for him to do some specific thing. Like, it'd be a really good scene and arguably one of the most emotional scenes that we could get, not only just in that handful of episodes, but the entire season. This season already, like the first handful of episodes, have had some really gut-wrenching moments. Like, that episode 1 was like a full-on, my heart, and episode 3 with Thea was really tough as well. Obviously, other Earths in the multiverse are an option, but we know we won't be going to any other Earths in Arrow this season outside of the actual Crisis episode. So the multiverse Quentin, if he's going to appear, would have to come to Earth 1. We wouldn't be going to his Earth. He'd have to come to Earth 1 if that's the case. Now, they did release some promo images for episode 5, which is the episode we have to wait another week for, which is Prognost. It's the episode where we go to Russia. Now, we have Roy coming back. Roy Harper is back in this episode. Obviously, we knew he was going to come back for the season. We just didn't know what specific episode he was back, but he's back in episode 5. He's working at that garage, like the mechanic, as his alias or alter ego of Jason again. Obviously, Jason is most likely a reference to Jason Todd because of, Roy Harper and Jason Todd's relationship in the comics. Now, Diggle does go and get him. I'm sure there will be set up in the episode in regards to why Diggle goes and does this in the early stages of the episode. In the synopsis, it says like Diggle reunites with an old, or like a person from his past. I don't know if it's Roy or another character that we meet in the episode. I have to wait and see. But yeah, Diggle's like the bridge connecting Roy into this episode. But it will be interesting to see why Diggle goes and gets Roy. Like, is there a specific reason around it? I have to wait and see. And we have another returning character for this episode, that being Anatoly Kunai. We knew he was coming back this season. We presumed it would be the Russia episode when this episode title was released, and, well, he's back. So, Anatoly's back. Now, episode 6 is otherwise entitled Reset. Make of that what you will from that title. I'm sure people have different theories, but they did release the synopsis or description, and this is that synopsis or description. After being double-crossed by Lila, Oliver finds himself facing a life-or-death situation that seems very familiar. Laurel has the opportunity to make amends with the past. So the first thing, Lila stops Oliver's plan in episode 5, potentially? Is that what the double-crossing is by Lila? In regards to Oliver, maybe that's what happened, or maybe like she helps Laurel stop him because, the Monitor wants Laurel to betray Oliver. You'd have to think it's maybe getting in the way of what Oliver's trying to do. Maybe Laurel's unable to completely stop Oliver, so Lila has to step in, and Oliver's like, what the hell, Lila, why are you doing this? And then this could really speed up maybe the Harbinger storyline, or this might completely reveal to Oliver that, Lila's working with the Monitor. That's going to be very interesting to see what's happening there. In regards to Laurel having the opportunity to make amends with the past, this would most likely indicate that this is the first episode where Quentin comes in. Obviously, I don't know how they're going to do it, whether Earth 2 does get resurrected and maybe Quentin from Earth 2 ends up being resurrected, or maybe we get some sort of mental thing or some sort of vision or connection between the Earth 1 and Quentin that died and Laurel. Going to be interesting to see how that plays out, because this could maybe be what the Monitor does for her. Maybe because he didn't fully succeed, he gives a bit of a compromise and does this for her. I don't know. It's going to be interesting to see what happens there completely. But I think that really does heavily hint that that's like the first appearance of Quentin for this season. Now, just quickly on the Arrow spinoff, people have been asking me about it what's happening with it. It finished filming. They obviously wouldn't start filming the series finale if they hadn't been done filming the spin-off. It filmed pretty quickly. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. So they're done filming it. From what we know, it has future elements in it, like as if they go back to the future, because JJ, the Deathstroke, John Diggle Jr., is in the finale, in that backdoor pilot, sorry. Whether he is Deathstroke is another question. We don't know what's going to happen in regards to time changes going forward, but it's obviously set mostly in present day. Like Laurel and Dinah were both without makeup, you know, the old people makeup, and were just in present day, and it seemed that Mia was as well. So it's going to be interesting to see like how that episode plays out completely. In regards to it getting picked up, there's been a lot of discussion on whether it will get picked up. It's probably going to get picked up. Like, it'd be very surprising if it didn't, because it already has existing characters, and it's easy for them to go ahead with it because they can probably use a lot of the same sets that Arrow uses, so they save money in that. There's not a lot of things that go against it. The only thing that actually does go against it is that the CW doesn't have the best track record in regards to picking up backdoor pilots. Like, they pick them up, don't get me wrong, but sometimes they'll avoid doing a backdoor pilot just to give a show its own pilot, like The Flash. They were going to give The Flash a backdoor pilot at the end of Arrow Season 2, and they went, no, we'll just give it its own pilot, and it was better for the show. But with some other cases, like, I don't think they've actually picked up a proper backdoor pilot since, I think, The Originals, which is a Vampire Diaries spin-off. I know that Legacies is a Vampire Diaries spin-off, but I don't know if they did a backdoor pilot for that show. If they did, let me know, because if they did, then they only picked one up from like a couple of years ago. But obviously Supernatural has tried twice and hasn't done it. And I think even Vampire Diaries did another one that didn't get picked up either. So they don't have the best track record in regards to picking up backdoor pilots. But this one just seems like one where I'd be very, very, very surprised if that didn't get picked up. But it's for us to wait and see. Episode 9 will decide that, I guess, the response to it from people. So we won't know until next year, I guess. But yeah, guys, thanks for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. If you did, it'd be awesome if you could drop a like on it to show support. Let me know in the comment section down below your various opinions on what we went over. And of course, if you are new to the channel, make sure to subscribe. And yeah, I'll catch you guys later. Goodbye.